Hello my beautiful people of the world, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, but probably welcome. If you are new here, we talk about all things conspiracies and spooky, chilling mysteries unsolved on this channel. If you are not new here, thank you for joining as always, I appreciate you so much. Today we are going to be talking about conspiracy that you probably have heard of, or maybe you've heard little bits and pieces. And what we're going to be talking about today is cloud seeding. Is it real? Is it fake? And is it causing some of those natural disasters? So what if hurricanes, floods, any extreme weather event was actually being influenced by humans? For years, it's been a topic of conversation that the government is using cloud seeding to manipulate the weather. And to some extent, this is actually true. So before we get into the conspiracy side of it, let's talk about cloud seeding in itself and what it actually is. Because it's important to note that cloud seeding is actually real and happening. So yes, cloud seeding is a weather modification technique and it's existed for decades. And basically the goal is simple, just to create more clouds, to produce more rain or snow. And scientists do this by releasing tiny particles into existing clouds. These particles are often silver iodide, salt, or dry ice. And basically water vapor in the clouds gathers around the particles to form droplets or ice crystals. And if enough droplets form, they become heavy enough to produce rain or snow. Basically like giving nature a little push in the right direction. And one thing about cloud seeding is it actually needs moisture in the air already and suitable weather conditions present to be able to even do this. So it's not just creating clouds out of thin air. And basically what a lot of us would think of is maybe those chemtrails, which people say are just contrails, which are left by airplanes, jet engines, that naturally form when it's hot or humid. But if you think about it, maybe they're using those contrails as clouds for cloud seeding. I don't know, just a theory. But chemtrails is a whole nother conspiracy in itself. I mean, it does correlate and is really tied together, but chemtrails specifically talk about different chemicals that are being spread in the air to actually harm us. Whereas cloud seeding is just to produce rainfall and to change the weather, but in return, this could harm us. Now, it's actually no secret that many governments use cloud seeding. Some regions use it to increase snowfall in the mountains that supply drinking water. Others use it in droughts to increase rainfall, but countries like the United States, China, the UAE, and several others have either experimented or actively are using these cloud seeding techniques. But this is where the question rises, because if the government is openly admitting to influencing the weather in some ways, it raises the question, what else are they capable of? And that's really where this theory begins. People who believe in this weather control theory would say that cloud seeding is only the beginning of it. And according to the theory, governments and powerful organizations possess this weather modification technology far beyond what we know and what is publicly acknowledged. Some people believe that hurricanes can be strengthened before they hit land, and others claim that the storm itself can be steered in a certain direction to go towards specific locations or regions. And some more extreme ideas say that creating these monstrous weather events can be utilized as weapons to damage economies, influence political events, or even against enemies in other countries, other places. And whenever these weather events happen, social media is immediately flooded with videos of unusual aircraft activity, cloud formations, or even radar imaging proving that some weather manipulation had taken place. And these ideas really don't come out of nowhere, because there was a real military weather modification project. Yes, during the Vietnam War, the United States carried out an operation that they called Operation Popeye. And no, maybe the goal wasn't to create hurricanes, but instead the military attempted to extend monsoon rains over enemy supply routes. And basically by increasing rainfall, roads became muddy and transportation became very difficult. And as you could imagine, this operation was classified for years, but it did become public eventually. And obviously for this conspiracy, this piece of information is very relevant, because if governments were able and willing to modify the weather during war decades ago, then it leads you to question, what might they be capable of doing today? Now, just to add on to this, there was another real scientific project called Project Storm Fury. Basically, this happened in the 1960s, and researchers wanted to see if hurricanes, yes, hurricanes, could be weakened through cloud seeding. So Quite the opposite of what this theory actually says, but manipulating hurricanes nonetheless. So basically, scientists flew into these storms and released silver iodide into hurricane clouds. The idea was that changes in the storm's structure might reduce wind speeds. However, the project ultimately failed, and researchers later determined that they had misunderstood some aspects of hurricane behavior. And they actually came to the conclusion that humans couldn't control hurricanes because hurricanes are far more powerful. Now, meteorologists challenge this conspiracy theory because hurricanes are massive, can stretch hundreds of miles, and release staggering amounts of energy. And to many scientists, releasing a few particles into the clouds to try and control a hurricane is very unrealistic and seems a bit ridiculous. Basically, like throwing a pebble into the ocean and expecting the ocean to create a huge wave, right? But this doesn't mean weather can't be influenced at all. Basically, the debate is whether the weather can be influenced enough to create or change these massive storms. And this theory has become more popularized in the recent years because extreme weather events seem to be increasing, from major hurricanes to severe flooding, droughts, heat waves. It's all caused many people to question whether these are naturally happening or not. And of course, social media has made it extremely easy for these ideas to spread. And honestly, if these videos that we're seeing online of all these different cloud patterns, whether it's chemtrails, contrails, different weather radar videos, nowadays, with how advanced we are, people could just claim it's fake, that it's AI and made up. So can cloud seeding actually create hurricanes? Obviously, scientists are gonna say no. Yes, cloud seeding can influence rainfall under certain conditions, but creating or steering or significantly strengthening a hurricane is really far beyond what they're capable of, or at least they say. But obviously, with the existence of real weather modification programs, military experiments, and decades of government secrecy, it clearly ensures that questions still remain. So yes, cloud seeding is real, weather modification is real, but whether or not we have the technology to create or influence these hurricanes, that's the theory. And it is just a theory, okay? So let me know what you think. Do you think cloud seeding is just simply used to help with things like droughts, rainfall, farming even? Or do you think maybe it goes beyond that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Do not forget to like and subscribe. It is free. It helps me out so much so I can continue making these videos for you, and I love doing it. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.